So I'm just going to jump right into it. So question one says chapter 7 opens by asking you to write about what it means to you to be the sex and gender that you are. How does your response echo or differ from the themes and commentaries presented in this chapter? Make sure you cite the chapter in your response. So for me, what it means to like grow up being feminine and having like those expectations, I think the main thing would have to be appearance. Growing up, I mean, obviously still am, but I was the overweight kid. I was the kid that didn't have the best clothes because my family didn't have a lot of money. So I was judged very heavily on appearance. People saying, oh, you're not feminine enough, you don't wear enough dresses, or you don't wear makeup, or you don't do your hair every day. That's just who I was, but those expectations were definitely still there just because I'm a female. I think another one is sensitivity. I tend to not be the best with emotions in terms of like understanding and being super sympathetic, so it doesn't really fit with feminine expectations in today's society. I never really thought of it as a big deal, but a lot of other people seem to think it was a big deal. So it got to me a little bit. And then the last one was being ladylike. I hate that term. I hate that phrase because there's really no such thing as being ladylike. It's just a term people use to identify the stereotypes and expectations of females and feminine individuals in Western culture. So I grew up from my grandma saying, that's not ladylike, you shouldn't sit like that, you shouldn't talk like that, you shouldn't act like that, that's not ladylike. So that was a big part of growing up feminine for me. I think it didn't really differ from what the book discussed. Honestly, it hit the three main points for me and then some. But yeah, I don't really think it differed from what the book had to say. All right, question 2. Analyze how your ego boundaries work in one particular relationship in your life. How do your ego boundaries both enhance and constrain that relationship? So ego boundaries are the separation between self and the rest of the world. So the relationship that I chose was between me and my mom. In that relationship, I'm better at being emotional and understanding feelings. So we tend to feel the same emotions as each other a lot of the time, and we occasionally like react the same way to things. Like a good example is we'll be driving in the car together and someone will cut us off on the freeway or whatever, and we'll both start like inherently just the road rage comes out, and it's like the exact same. So I think in that way our ego boundaries are more permeable with each other. I think this enhances the relationship because it creates like a general understanding of each other's emotions and how we feel about certain things, and you're kind of not left questioning like, oh, is that going to hurt their feelings, or are they upset right now? So it enhances it in that way, but it constrains it because it makes us both very emotional at times, and sometimes because we know what like hurts us and what gets to us, we use it sometimes as like ammo if we're fighting. So that kind of puts a strain on the relationship. All right, so I think that's it. Thanks for listening.